Archangel Michael says, the air around you has been trembling with a voice that does not belong to this world. A soul that once shared your blood, your family, your home, has not been at rest. They linger in the unseen, pressing against the walls of heaven, waiting for the moment when their truth can finally break into your life. Tonight their voice has crossed the veil, not to frighten you, but to release what was hidden, so that both you and they can find peace at last. A name has been carried into the courts of heaven, a memory, a bond that was left unfinished. This soul has tried to reach you in whispers, in dreams, in sudden moments when your heart felt heavy without reason. Every time you felt that invisible pull, it was them, asking for this hour, asking for their words to be delivered through the fire of Archangel Michael's command. They want you to know something that no one else could tell you, something that has weighed on their spirit since they crossed over. Archangel Michael says, they are not lost, they are not wandering, but they have been restless because of what was left unsaid. They want to thank you for the moments you never thought mattered, for the prayers you whispered, for the tears you shed that were noticed by heaven. They want you to know that your love reached them even when distance and silence stood in the way. And now, they are urging you to release the sorrow that still ties you to pain. This soul has carried a plea into the heavens, let forgiveness break the chains that time could not touch. Let love be stronger than the bitterness that remained. They are asking you to see that their story did not end with death, but continues through the legacy you carry. Archangel Michael says, until this truth is received, their heart cannot fully rest. But once you embrace it, once you allow these words to sink into your soul, peace will descend like a river, and both realms, yours and theirs, will be set free. Look closely at the signs around you. The flicker of lights, the sudden fragrance that reminds you of them, the unexpected wave of memory that rushes in at the quietest hours. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are the proof that the message you hear now has been echoing for days, weeks, years, waiting for this moment of release. Archangel Michael says, do not ignore this. This is not an illusion, not imagination, but a sacred revelation carved into the fabric of your destiny. Your loved one is at the gates of rest, holding out their final confession, their final blessing, waiting for you to accept it. And when you do, a door will close behind them with peace, and a new door will open before you with light. Stay, listen, and let heaven's voice settle in your spirit. This is not a warning, it is a gift. It is the sound of love that refuses to die, of truth that demands to be known, of a soul that longs to finally rest because you chose to hear them today. Archangel Michael says, there are mysteries written in your family story that only heaven can reveal, and tonight one of those mysteries is unfolding. A departed soul who once walked this earth with you has been allowed to rise through the veil, their spirit guided by the hand of Michael himself, because there are words they were never able to say in life, and those words now carry the power to shift your heart forever. You have felt them before, in the quiet of the night when everything around you was still, in the sudden rush of emotion that came without warning, in the soft brush of air that carried a memory so strong it left you frozen. That was not imagination, it was the signal of their presence, their restless plea, their longing to finish what was left undone. Michael says the moment of silence is over, the message must be spoken, and you are chosen to receive it. Their soul carries both sorrow and joy, both regret and gratitude, and they need you to know that nothing you did was in vain. Every kindness, every prayer, every tear was seen. They want you to understand that though their body is gone, their spirit has been alive, circling, watching, hoping you would hear them. They are not coming with anger, but with release. They are not coming with darkness, but with light. What they could not speak on earth, they now declare through the authority of heaven. You are loved beyond measure, and the time has come for your heart to let go of the pain that has lingered for too long. Archangel Michael says this message is a bridge between the living and the departed, between the ache of yesterday and the peace of eternity. Your family member has been crying out for rest, but rest cannot come until the truth is heard. And now, with every word reaching your ears, they are closer to peace, and you are closer to healing. Do not dismiss the signs, for they will grow stronger. A photograph falling when no one touches it, a sudden dream that feels too real, a song that plays at the exact moment you think of them, these are not accidents. These are heaven's fingerprints, pressing this truth deeper into your soul. Michael says, heaven has given permission for this encounter because you were chosen to carry the release. As you hear this, something shifts not just for them, but for you. The heaviness that has clung to your heart begins to dissolve. The guilt, the regret, the unanswered questions, they begin to lose their grip. And in their place comes peace, a peace that flows not from man but from heaven itself. Your loved one is stepping closer to eternal rest, and you are stepping closer to freedom. Heaven has spoken, and what was hidden has now been unveiled. This is your divine moment, sealed by the sword of Michael and carried by the breath of God. Archangel Michael says, the heavens have been waiting for this precise hour, because the soul that belongs to your family has pressed into the light with a plea too strong to be silenced. They have walked the corridors of eternity with unfinished words burning on their lips, and tonight those words are pouring into your life with the weight of destiny. You are not here by accident, you are here because heaven appointed you to hear what the departed could never say. Michael reveals that this soul has been circling your home, not in unrest to harm you, but in longing to reach you. Every sudden chill, every moment when the room felt different, every time your spirit stirred for reasons you couldn't explain, it was them. Their heart aches with unfinished truth, and only when you receive it will their soul finally be at peace. They want you to know that they carried regrets, not because of what you did, but because of what time never allowed them to finish. The love they held for you was larger than the walls of this world, but the words were never spoken enough, the gratitude was never fully expressed. And now, through Michael's command, the silence is broken. They declare that you were their blessing, their light, the one who carried them further than you knew. Archangel Michael says, this message is not only to free their spirit but to lift you from the burden of questions you have carried for too long. You wondered if they saw your tears, they did. You wondered if they felt your love after they were gone, they did. You wondered if they still cared, they do. Their spirit shouts louder now than their voice ever could in life, and their cry is that you must release your sorrow so that they can rest and so that you can rise. Michael reminds you that this is a sacred crossing of two worlds, where heaven bends low to earth and earth lifts high to heaven. In this meeting, peace is written into your story. Chains of grief begin to shatter, unseen weights are falling, and the love of your departed family member washes over you like a tide you cannot resist. This is not fantasy, this is not illusion, this is eternity whispering into your present moment. Their eyes, once closed to this world, now see you with greater clarity than ever before. And what they see is strength, resilience, and a future they bless with their final breath. Archangel Michael declares, their soul will rest because you chose to hear. And in your hearing, you will find the freedom you have been longing for. Would you like me to carry this forward into an even deeper flow, where the message starts revealing what exactly the departed wants you to do next for their peace and your breakthrough? Archangel Michael says, lean closer, for the veil is thinner now than it has ever been. The departed soul in your family is standing in the light, their spirit trembling with urgency, because their message is not only about what they left behind, it is about what lies ahead for you. They speak through Michael's authority, their words carried like fire through the wind, and the heavens will not rest until you have absorbed them fully. They want you to understand that every wound you have carried, every unanswered question that haunted you, every night you felt abandoned, it was never unseen. From the other side, they witnessed your pain, they wept for the moments you thought no one cared, and they cried out before the throne of heaven that you might receive comfort. What you are hearing now is their intercession made audible, their silent prayers now turned into spoken truth through Michael's voice. This soul declares that your destiny is still whole, even when it felt broken. They confess that while they could not protect you from everything, heaven has written your path in light. They beg you not to waste your heart in bitterness, not to remain chained to regrets, because those regrets are not yours to carry anymore. The heavens are commanding you to release them, just as this soul is releasing their burden in this very moment. Michael says, you are the chosen vessel to close this chapter with grace. The departed longs for you to walk in peace, to carry joy, to remember them not with heaviness but with honor. Their rest depends on your release, and your breakthrough depends on their words. As their truth is spoken, you will feel it in your body, a sudden shift, a wave of warmth, a sense that something invisible has been lifted. That is the sign that the message is true, and that their soul is finally moving into the deep rest of eternity. Look around you in the days to come, for confirmations will appear. A dream that feels alive, a whisper that calls your name, a sign in the smallest detail, these are the seals of heaven reminding you that you did not imagine this. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are part of a divine plan that stretches beyond death, beyond time, beyond everything your eyes can see. Archangel Michael says, tonight a sacred exchange has happened, their soul moves closer to rest, and your heart steps closer to healing. What once was silence has become revelation. What once was hidden has been revealed. And from this day forward, the weight will no longer crush you, for heaven has spoken, and the truth has set both worlds free. Archangel Michael says, the heavens are still pouring and the voice of your departed family member grows stronger, more steady, more alive with every moment you continue to listen. Their spirit has been waiting for years to speak this clearly, and now that you have opened your heart, their words are unfolding like a river that refuses to stop until every drop has been released. They are saying, I could not rest because I left pieces of myself with you. I could not settle because I carried the weight of unfinished love, of apologies unspoken, of gratitude I never found the chance to give. But now, through this divine moment, I can speak freely. I want you to know you were my anchor, my safe place, the one whose prayers covered me when the world was too heavy. I saw your tears, I felt your pain, and I am here to tell you that none of it was in vain. Michael's sword gleams with confirmation as he declares that these words are not imagination, they are testimony. Testimony that the bond between you and your loved one was never severed by death, but only transformed. Their voice carries the sound of release, urging you to lay down the guilt you still cradle, urging you to release the sorrow that clings like a shadow. They want you to know that peace is not only for them, it is for you, here and now. The atmosphere around you is changing as these truths enter your spirit. Heaven is reordering things in your favor. The confusion that swirled in your mind begins to clear, the heaviness in your chest begins to lift, the ache you thought would never leave begins to dissolve. Michael says this is the evidence that the departed soul's rest is aligning with your own freedom. Two worlds are being healed at once, theirs in eternity, and yours in the present. Do not be surprised when reminders come to you in unexpected ways. A scent that suddenly fills the room, a song that carries their memory, an object that seems to move into your hands without reason, these are confirmations. They are heaven's way of telling you the bridge is real, the message is alive, and the connection between your soul and theirs has been sealed by light. Archangel Michael says, "This is your sacred inheritance, to live without the chains of sorrow, to walk with strength knowing you are loved beyond measure, and to carry forward their memory not as a weight, but as a crown." Their spirit will finally rest because you received this message, and your life will finally expand because heaven trusted you to hear it. Would you like me to continue deepening this into the part where the soul begins to reveal a hidden family truth, something they couldn't say while alive but now must be exposed for your healing? The air has shifted, and the veil between this world and the next is trembling as a voice breaks through with power. A departed soul from your family stands in the radiance of eternity, holding a message that has burned within them since the moment they left this earth. Their spirit has carried both weight and longing, waiting for this exact moment, when their truth could finally reach you. They speak with urgency, "I could not rest because pieces of my heart were left unfinished. I carried sorrow for the words I never spoke, for the gratitude I never gave, for the secrets I buried deep inside. I watched you carry burdens that were never yours to bear, and my soul has been restless until now. This is the hour I must tell you what I could not before, so that I may rest and you may rise." The heavens confirm that their love for you has never dimmed. Every tear you shed was seen, every prayer you whispered was heard, every lonely night was marked by their presence. They want you to know that nothing you gave was wasted, and no moment of kindness was forgotten. The bond between you and them was never severed by death, it has only been hidden, waiting for this release. They plead for you to let go of the guilt that has chained your heart, to forgive where bitterness lingers, to understand that love is stronger than the grave. They do not want you to replay the past anymore, they want you to walk into your future unburdened, whole, and free. Their peace is tied to your release, and your healing is tied to their truth. Listen closely, because they are revealing more. Within your family there were hidden matters, unspoken truths that brought division, pain, and silence. They are urging you not to carry the poison of secrets any longer. The time has come for truth to rise, for healing to enter, for light to scatter every shadow. What they could not confess while alive is now pouring from eternity, because your soul was chosen to hear it. They declare, "I leave you with blessing, not burden. I leave you with peace, not pain. My rest depends on you embracing this truth, and your joy depends on releasing the sorrow you have carried for too long. When you let it go, you will feel the weight vanish, and my spirit will finally be free. The heavens stand as witness. The earth itself feels lighter as these words take root in you. This is more than a message, it is a crossing between two realms, a sacred exchange where both the living and the departed find peace. And tonight, that peace belongs to you. The voice grows clearer now, no longer a faint whisper but a steady current flowing from eternity into your spirit. The departed soul from your family stands at the edge of heaven, and with every word they release, their burden lifts, and your heart begins to untangle from sorrow. They speak not to haunt you, but to heal you. I carried silence with me when I crossed over, they confess. There were things I wanted to tell you but time stole my chance. I carried regret that you mistook my absence for neglect, when in truth, my love for you never dimmed. I carried pain for the way our family fractured under secrets, and I could not rest knowing you still wonder about what was left unsaid. That is why I stand here now. To bring you closure, to bring you truth, to bring you peace. Their words stretch beyond memory, piercing through the years of confusion. They remind you of moments you overlooked, the small gestures, the quiet prayers, the hidden sacrifices they made. What they want you to know is that you were never alone. Even after they left this world, they have walked beside you in the unseen, guiding, interceding, whispering strength into your darkest hours. The truth they reveal carries weight. Our family carried shadows, unspoken matters that wounded generations. But the time for silence has ended. The light of heaven is uncovering what was hidden. You were chosen to be the one to break the cycle, to refuse to let sorrow and secrecy define our bloodline. My soul will only find peace when you embrace this calling, to heal what I could not, to live with the freedom I never had. The heavens stir as their words fall upon you like fire. This is not imagination, this is not coincidence, this is a divine moment written long before you knew it. With every syllable, the atmosphere around you shifts. A release begins, chains unravel, a heaviness you thought was permanent begins to lift. They bless you now with their final declaration, carry my love, not my regret. Carry my memory as light, not as weight. Live the life I could not live fully. Smile the smiles I missed. And when you feel the warmth around you in quiet moments, know it is me, finally resting, because you heard me at last. In that release, the veil closes gently. Their soul finds rest, and your heart finds freedom. What was unfinished is now complete, and heaven seals this truth over your life with peace.